How much is your debt?
For the whole course, I'd say around
The end of the course, it will be 32,000.
it'll be 36,000.
It's a bit over 40 grand right now, 47 or something. I calculated it to be around 60,000.
University doesn't come cheap, and as inflation rises, so will student debt.
40,000, 60,000, 50k, a very big amount to be honest.
I don't think about it too much because it's quite a lot of money to worry about otherwise.
We will abolish fees at universities and colleges of advanced education.
Gone are the days when university education was free under Gough Whitlam. And if you were born after 1989, when the student loan system known as the Higher Education Contribution Scheme, or HECS, began, you'd never know the difference.
Did you know that university education used to be free?
No. That's crazy.
Wow.
Whitlam's fee-free education lasted for more than a decade. Until the late 1980s, when the Hawke government began reintroducing fees. Students weren't happy. But the purpose of HECS was to expand university places to more people. Economist Bruce Chapman helped design the system.
There was a very large unmet demand for university places, and to sort that problem out, the HECS system was able to generate the revenue which allowed the system to expand.
HECS later became known as the Higher Education Loan Program, or HELP.
Many more relatively poor people participate in universities than before, only repay this debt when and if they're earning sufficient income to make it easy.
The loans are interest-free and you don't have to repay until you earn a certain amount. At the moment, it's $48,000 a year. But the total amount now owed has ballooned to $74 billion, and it's taking people longer to pay back, from 7 years to 9.5 years. And it's not just young people. 37,000 older graduates in their 70s also owe the government money.
The reason that it takes slightly longer to repay now is that the fees have gone up. Some very high-earning young lawyers will repay their debt in 4 years. And some people, like nurses, for example, who are in and out of the labour force and working part-time, will take 30 years.
In Gippsland country Victoria, Isnaya Kennedy works as a teacher, having studied multiple courses.
A Bachelor of Arts with an honours in anthropology, a graduate diploma in psychology and Masters of Teaching.
After taking time to raise 3 kids, she's now 47 and owes debt from 1994.
Somewhere in here is my HECS debt remaining. Where is it? Oh no, that is it. That's ugly. 72,404. I think that it's just one of life's inevitabilities. I can't do anything about it except let it come out of my salary.
The debt is tied to the cost of living as a percentage, otherwise known as indexation. This percentage is applied to the amount of debt each year. Most years the rate has been low. Check out 1998. But this year, because of inflation, it'll be the second highest in more than 30 years. That means some people, like Geelong nurse Christina Sproul, will have their debts increase by more than what they're repaying.
It's just over $50,000. You're not really getting anywhere. You're paying it off, but then, you know, the government whacks all this money back on it. So it's sort of just standing still, and it is so deflating, like when you are paying for this debt that's not going anywhere. Sometimes you feel like you're going to carry that debt around on your shoulders until the day you die.
Women in their 20s make up the largest number of people in debt. They also owe the most amount of money.
The fact that loans are getting bigger and they're taking longer to pay off has particular implications for women who tend to drop out of the labour force to raise children. And what happens to these debts during that period of time is they increase because of indexation and no repayments are being made during that time.
We need uni and TAFE to be free.
The Greens, student groups and some economists want indexation scrapped, but the government has rejected the idea.
Freezing or abolishing educational loan indexation would have created immense relief for students who are going to see their debts rise by more than they're repaying this year.
The federal budget forecasts inflation to ease from next year, with wages to increase. Bruce Chapman argues that means the burden of student loans should even out over time.
Over the last 34 years, the real wage increase, that is wages above inflation, has been about 2.5%. Not recently, but that will come back. I'm quite confident that the wage situation for graduates when they're repaying their HECS will be such to more than compensate for the price increases that have been happening.
Until that happens, it won't feel that way for the millions of students and graduates still owing tens of thousands of dollars.
Free!
So what you're doing now would be completely free. How do you feel about that?
I feel ripped off a little bit. I feel like I'm born in the wrong generation.